just overlook me. Yeah, if things don't pan out, keep it cooking. You're not a fan, but you keep on looking. Look, don't be concerned with what people saying. Be concerned when they don't care to say it. Funny how people will act like they know you, but they don't even got a clue what they're saying.
Yeehaw, soldiers! It's your boy Anthony coming in with a video, and this is What If Deku Had Gambit's Powers, Part 5. As a result of you guys seem to like all of the last part, you got the 5th part of this series. However, let me get into a couple things first. First off, social media plugs. Follow me on Twitter at AnimeStage4. We are getting very close to 50 followers. So if I could get like 7 to 8 followers, more followers, you know what I'm saying? That would be nice. Also, follow my Instagram, AnimeStage_stage4. And we are 2 away from 60 followers and 42 away from 100. So if we can hit that, that would be pretty cool. Also, join my Discord, especially if you want to communicate with me via DMs and submit what if ideas to me. Link to that will be in the social media section of the description. And for business inquiries, my email is eaglesniper773@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it. Second, if you didn't notice it in my last video, I am switching to a more descriptive format. And even I get tired of not having my thoughts fully together. Finally, if you haven't seen my last vid, What If Kushina and Makoto were sisters, part 4, I would highly suggest you go watch it after this video. Alright, now for the usual checklist. If you haven't seen the last part, links in the description down below. If you haven't seen the series at all, go to the play section of my channel. It is the whole series right there. With that all the way, let's get right into What If Deku Had Gambit's Powers, Part 5. So we are getting right into the Battle Trial arc. In this one, instead of Chaco and Deku being paired off as a team, it's actually Deku and Momo. Again, the reason for this is to establish more of a chemistry between Momo and Deku, since they're the main pairing of the story. Where we ended off last time was the teams were selected, and as normal, Deku and Bakugo are having their first real battle at UA. Bakugo and Deku are having their stare down as rivals. They aren't necessarily friends in this version, well, kind of like the original canon version, but their relationship has gone a lot better, especially since they trained for the last 10 months together. Bakugo wants this to be his moment. He knows that he's probably not as strong as Deku, but he also doesn't want to be too far behind. He wants to use battles number to show how far he's grown. Deku has different emotions here. He sees an opportunity to show off his skills at UA in combat situations, and is also excited going up against Bakugo, because he's probably the second strongest in school, besides guys like Todoroki, and which he hasn't seen a lot of yet, and then there might be Momo, his girlfriend. Both are really excited for this matchup. Both teams are sent to individual places to start playing for the test. Momo and Deku are strategizing here. Momo asks a little bit about Bakugo. Deku then states, "When we were kids, we used to be good friends with each other. I used to think he was so cool when we were young. But then he started bullying other people who had quirks worse than his, or those who didn't even have quirks yet. When I unlocked my quirk, everybody was amazed at my potential. Bakugo became jealous of how much attention I was receiving. As I took martial arts, I took the principle of distancing myself away from him, because my teacher said you shouldn't use your quirk to hurt other people, even those who didn't even have quirks. Our friendship would have never been restored, especially for all I witnessed from him, and the torment that he gave other people. I trained myself hard, which is why I am where I am today. Bakugo over the years bore a grudge against me, because I was stronger than him, and he knew it. I defended those who were less, and he knew it, and as I defended those who were less fortunate, because, well, it's the right thing to do. However, things are starting to get a little bit better. After the Sludgeville incident, we trained together for 10 months, since I was the one who saved him. Momo's then shocked. That was you? And then Deku says, yep. Momo is at this point amazed by her, at this point, boyfriend, or soon-to-be boyfriend, even if they haven't gone on their date yet. The more she learns about him, the more she kind of falls in love with him, or is more infatuated by him. Deku then says, he is really powerful, so it won't be completely easy, but Deku then looks at Momo in the eyes. But I know we will win, especially with you here. Momo then blushes a bit. Stop it, she says in a playful way, as she punches Deku's arm gently. Hey, I'm just being honest, Deku says as he grins. Momo giggles. Now, alright, here's the plan, says Deku. Deku tells Momo that most likely Bakugo and Ida are going to stay inside to protect the weapon, because Bakugo would not go for a full frontal assault because Bakugo knows Deku. So they're going to find the room, and then Deku will engage Bakugo. Momo creates a bow staff to blast her to launch herself to the weapon, since they can only need to touch it. Bakugo will fire a card to Ida and knock him out if he tries to stop her. What if you miss? Asks Momo. Deku then grins. Most likely I won't, but if that happens, you can fight him. If you're quirky, you can probably overwhelm him. Momo then says, what if Bakugo or Ida goes out for a frontal assault? Deku then grins. That is also a possibility, because Bakugo might have figured out I would have prepared for that. If it happens, I got a backup plan. Deku then explains the backup plan to Momo. Momo smiles and says, you really fought ahead for this, sorry. Deku says, well, when you know how a person operates, you can figure out different plans to defeat them. In addition, heroes have to think of different plans on the spot when they're fighting villains. It's also pretty easy since I know so much about you and how your quirk operates, as well as Bakugo. Momo then says, let's win this. And then Deku just smiles. Meanwhile, Bakugo and Ida are debating on what to do. Our best option is to separate them, says Bakugo. Ida says, why is that? Bakugo says, if we battle together, they may overwhelm us when they tag team with our quirks, especially since they have very extremely powerful quirks. I'll engage Deku. When Momo comes in, you fight her. Ida complies, but he really doesn't want to hit a girl. The teams are then released, and Deku and Momo go walk for the building. Bakugo then tries to strike Deku, but then Deku blocks with his bow staff. Momo, you know what to do. Momo then heads out to the place where weapons contained. Deku then says, I had a feeling that you would do this. Bakugo says, well, there were only 2 choices, and I chose the best one. We'll see, says Deku. And then meanwhile, the entire class is watching this fight. They believe that this should be a good fight between 2 powerful upstart heroes. Or soon-to-be heroes, you know what I'm saying? Bakugo tries his first strike, but Deku then dodges and smacks him down with his charged bow. Bakugo, after recovering, tries to kick Deku, but Deku dodges it. Bakugo keeps striking Deku, but Deku keeps dodging and dodging. Bakugo then unleashes his Gauntlet Blast, less powerful than the ones in canon because he's known as consumed by rage unlike the original canon version, and he is a little bit more level-headed, but fires off some powerful blasts. Deku barely dodges him. Bakugo then uses it as a way to get Deku's bow out of his hands. He does, and Deku loses his bow. Meanwhile, Momo is going to the room and sees Ida, and they engage. Momo creates 2 metal staffs, but Ida is just basically trying to stop her from getting to the weapon without hitting her, because again, he doesn't want to hit a girl. Ida is able to grab one of the staffs, and him and Momo engage in staff-to-staff combat. Well, Momo's doing more to engage, and Ida's doing more of the defending, you know what I'm saying? Back to Bakugo and Deku. Bakugo says, ha! I took away your weapon. What are you going to do? Use those cards? You know very well you can't knock me out with those cards. Deku then grins. Who says I was limited just to my bow and cards? Deku then begins to charge his right arm. Bakugo just goes wide-eyed. What? How? Bakugo asks. You see, I have been working on this in secret. We are still rivals, and it wouldn't be wise to reveal all my secrets to you. Bakugo then smiles. Can't blame you. I did the same thing. Deku then grins. Alright, show me. Bakugo then starts up his Howitzer Impact. You see, while I did say that Bakugo would get Howitzer in one of my later parts, in like, what was it, part 2 or 1, I didn't say Deku would know about it, or that they would know all their secrets when it came to training. Bakugo then unleashes his Howitzer Impact, while Deku unleashes his Poseidon move, Molecular Smash, and him and Deku would show their trump cards to each other at this point in time. A small clash between the moves occurs, causing shockwaves, but the Molecular Smash wins, and Bakugo is promptly smashed back into the wall of the building and is knocked out. As Momo and Ida are clashing, they eventually disengage. Ida promptly says, "Give up now, hero!" Then Ida gets distracted by a shockwave and wonders what is going on. Momo seizes and takes out a card Deku gave her and throws at Ida's head, knocking him out. She then places herself on the weapon, and the hero team will win. You see, the backup plan was Deku knew that he had a secret move of his own, but since he knows how Bakugo operates, he would have probably have made a secret move of his own. If 2 moves clashed, there would likely be shockwaves, and Ida would be distracted. This is if Momo hadn't found a way to distract him already and knock him out. This is because Deku and Momo know one thing about Ida, and that he does have a bit of a caring nature, and would wonder if both him and his teammate were okay. The hero team wins with some time to spare. We cut over to Kirishima, who is happy for Deku's win, and then ponders about the events alone up to where he is now. After Deku had fought with Kirishima, Deku had contacted All Might about him being a potential successor. All Might agreed to it since he kind of owed Deku some before, giving him some courage and stuff like that. And they agreed that Deku would help him find a successor. Kirishima was shocked that All Might of all people was talking to him. All Might then explained the details to Kirishima, and he accepted the offer, finding Kirishima worthy of the court. Kirishima spent the next 3.5 months getting his body ready for One For All. The remaining 1.5 he spent training on how to control the court. At this point in time, Kirishima can use 5% of One For All and feel 0 pain. He is also training on combining his 2 quirks together, but hasn't been successful thus far. He knows that if he found a way to combine those quirks, he would be extremely powerful. Kirishima is amazed at everything that has happened to him so far, but knows he cannot slouch and wants to be a great successor to All Might. Now, one big thing. I heard you guys' suggestions, and I decided to retcon my non-explosive Mineta, and replace him with a Class 1 beast soon. Who? Kendo. She has a very powerful corporate for big hand ability, and I also kind of did it for more shipping reasons. With this ship being Kendo and Kirishima. Kendo came into the class and she became well liked, and Kirishima thought she was really cute. And who is his real competition? Kaminari? Come on, get with my girl Jiro, my dude. You had to go to Jiro. Maybe Sero, but the other guy's not really, especially Deku, since my boy has a girlfriend. They would eventually become friends by the end of their first day in the Class 1A. The other battles remain the same except 2. Tokiyami Sura fight Jiro and Denki, while Kendo and Kirishima fight Ochako and Tsuyu. The first fight isn't that important to me, and I'll give it to Tokiyami and Sero. With their fight, details aren't important here either, but Ochako and Tsuyu do put up a good fight, but ultimately end up falling to my boy Kirishima and Kendo. However, this fight will showcase the chemistry between Tsuyu and Ochako earlier than in canon, while building the potential relationship of Kirishima and Kendo. So that's pretty cool. Later on, Momo and Nezuko go on their first date, and it goes very well. They go to the movies, and at the end, they share a kiss. The ship is sailing fast, my friends. The class president nominations go around, kind of remain the same here, and Deku and Momo are elected. Baku has a similar reaction to canon, and if you include the fire alarm, plays out the same. Deku does a good job here, along with Ito, but Deku's going to keep the class president role here. Why? It should be extremely obvious why. The class goes to USJ as normal, but with Deku and Say next Momo, of course. They are about to begin their training with 13, but then a portal opens, the League of Villains pop out, and the USJ arc begins. How that goes will be covered in part 6. That's the end of part 5. On Saturday, What If Naruto the Tentagon Part 1 and What If Piccolo's Sunshine Part 0 will be released. At this point, if I feel as if I don't start What If series with Part 0, my SED will go crazy. Also, again, follow my social media platforms, especially Twitter, because I'm very close to 50 followers. Next week, I should release another parts of the Kakashi Naruto series, so that's pretty lit. Also, Sharingan Ichigo and Oro Deku could come back next week, so stay tuned for that. Well, that's about it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and share the video. This has been your boy Anime Sage, signing out. Peace. York. Ha.